I did a Bible study actually in high school. It was the Daniel Bible study through Beth Moore. She talked about Daniel's integrity. And she said that integrity is not so many costume changes. And I love the way she said that. It really stuck with me because I do think that it's easy when you don't know who you are to try on all these different things. Well, what if I'm this and what if I'm that? And you can kind of be a chameleon depending on who you're around. I think that the root of hypocrisy really is not being confident in your identity. And I think that identity is such a broad thing. I used to get frustrated when people would say, oh, you just need to know who you are in Christ. Because I was like, well, if everybody is redeemed and loved and chosen, then like, am I really loved? And am I really unique? And that does God really see me? Because if my identity is the same as everybody else, then how am I unique? That was my thought process. That might not be true for everybody, but that's kind of where I went with it. And I felt like God at one point, I remember driving down Old Hillsborough Road in Franklin where I grew up. I was driving in my little Toyota Avalon 2003 car. And I felt like God was like, Franny, what do you like? Like, who are you? I was like, you don't even care. Like, you just care about the big stuff. Like, you don't care about and I was like, no, I do care. I felt like I was saying that to me. Like, who are you? And I just started saying like, well, I like chocolate and I like to listen to jazz on the beach and I like being barefoot and I said all these things and I get really angry at this and I, have this or whatever. And I started talking about who I am. I feel like God took me on this journey of showing me who I am, the big stuff and the small stuff. That makes up who you are. And when you know who you are, then that creates this integrity. Obviously, I still struggle with that sometimes. It can be really difficult, especially on the stage and in the lights, to remember who you are when other people are trying to tell you, do it this way or do it this way or whatever. But I think the comforting thing about Christianity is that it's really not about how good people can be. It's about how good God is. And once you let that truth kind of infiltrate your life, it takes the pressure off. And then you can just let God's goodness be what defines you in your life. So I would say that is the root of hypocrisy, is not knowing who you are. And it's so important to go to the Lord with the big things and the small things to let him remind you of your identity.